Hello, everyone. Troy here, and welcome back to Who's That Girl? My interview series where I sit down and chat with women in wrestling from all around the world, both working inside and outside of the ring. And joining me today is a very special guest. You know her as the Petite Powerhouse, Zara Zakher. Zara, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Fantastic to meet you. I've been really looking forward to speaking with you because I feel like you were such an incredible in-ring competitor, and I can't wait to get to know a little bit more about you. But yeah, as I mentioned before recording, you're coming back off of a Japan tour and you're settling things down. So, how's that been going?
Pretty good. I just settled down, moved everything out of storage, and got it into the new place that I'm at. So it's been a little chaotic, but definitely getting more chill as time goes on.
I want to say that I've only started following your work when you were in TJPW because
Hmm.
you stood out. Okay, you stood out, and you call yourself the petite powerhouse, but I feel like you're more than just a powerhouse. You're extremely
Definitely.
athletic, extremely agile in the ring. So I want to know, like, do you have like an athletic background back when you were like in college or high school? Because there has to be an explanation for all of this energy you bring in the ring.
Yeah, there definitely is. I was a gymnast. My mom put me in mommy and me
Mm,
classes when I was 18 months. And from there I did gymnastics up until I was about 9 or 10. Um, and I was dancing also while this was happening. I started dancing at 2. So
okay.
I'm dancing, I'm doing gymnastics, I'm going everywhere, I'm going to meets, I'm going to dance competitions up until high school. And then I started cheering in high school. And I was also still tumbling at that point. So pretty much all
Nice.
my life, I have been tumbling or doing some type of flipping. So that really
Yeah.
helps with wrestling.
I see. So basically, we have your mother to thank
Yes,
for
we do. We do. Thank you,
all of
mom.
this insane talent. Yeah, because when I first saw you, you call yourself a petite powerhouse. So I was like, okay, I'm looking forward to seeing her powerhouse moves. And then
Mhm,
you started doing these back
mhm,
flips, and these 450s and all. And I was like,
mhm.
oh, she is like a very well-rounded competitor. And I found out that you haven't really been wrestling that long either. So
Mm-mm.
it's insane. About how long have you been wrestling?
I debuted in 2023 in January, so about a year and what month is it? September, a year and 7 months,
September.
9 months, year and 9 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that you've only been doing this for a little under 2 years, and my gosh, look at how
Mhm.
far you've come. It's
Yes,
insane.
very lucky.
Growing up, did you always want to pursue professional wrestling? Not
Definitely
at
not.
all.
I feel like I was like a late bloomer when it comes to wrestling. I didn't
Okay.
start watching wrestling until I was probably like 12 or so. Yeah, like 12. Um, and I never I only watched it because I thought it was super cool and fun. I never thought that I
Right.
could do anything like that. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a doctor." So, not doing
I
that.
see.
But then I went to college. Fast forward, I went to college and I saw Raw. Raw came to San Diego, and I went to go see Raw, and I was like crying. I was like sobbing really, really hard, like pretty much the entire show. And I'm not a crier, so
Okay.
that was very unusual for me. And I really just didn't know why. The only thing I was like saying, I was like, oh my goodness, I could never do anything like this. Like there's no way I can do anything in this aspect of wrestling. And I was really upset about that. Um, and I saw a flyer for this wrestling school that was literally 5 minutes away from where I lived at the time. Um, and I was like, let's take a picture of it just in case. And
Right.
now I'm here 3 years later. I trained for a year and then I started wrestling. So about 2.5 years later, here I am.
Wow, that is crazy. But yeah, you were doing fantastic. So good decisions were made.
Yes.
Yeah, really, really amazing progress again, given the limited amount of time you've had in the business. So it's really something that people should be looking out for because I feel like you can only grow from here. But now let's move on to what I really want to talk to you about, which is your excursion in Japan under
Mhm,
TJPW.
mhm,
But before we do get into the wrestling stuff, I want to talk about this very wholesome, very fun moment that I saw on your Instagram. You went to Tokyo Disneyland with some of the TJPW
Mhm,
girls. I
mhm,
believe these included Miu Watanabe, I think Shino Suzuki, and some of the others.
mhm,
Um, so it's Disneyland. I've never been to Disneyland. So what
mhm.
was that like?
It was so fun. It was definitely one of the best days that I've had there. It was from we were there for ever. I think we were there for like 12 hours. We
Oh
were we
wow.
we were there for a long time. Lots of walking. I think I walked like I don't know, like 13 miles. I don't know. Something crazy. That might be
Wow.
I might be like being too big about it, but it was a long time. Um
Right.
and we rode a lot of rides. It was hot. It was so hot. The first ride we got on, we were already drenched in sweat. Um, but we saw everything. We had Mickey ice bars, which is like a little Mickey Mouse
Right.
fruit bar, delicious. Um, we had food, went on rides. They taught me the Baymax dance because there's one ride where it's like disco, like it's disco themed, and there's like 5 seconds
Okay.
that play on loop, and then everyone on the outside of the ride, not even inside the ride, but on the outside of the ride is like full on 100% dancing to these songs. And so they
Okay.
taught me the Baymax dance. It was so cute. I had Neapolitan popcorn, um, which was really interesting. And yeah, it was just amazing. It was such a fun time. And then I went on Splash Mountain for the first time ever, which I've been to Disneyland
Right.
in LA, but obviously never
Yeah.
in Japan. And so I got to do Splash Mountain and I was like, that was a lot of water. And they kept saying overkill, overkill on the water. And I'm like, yes, very much overkill on the water.
Yeah. So is Splash Mountain the one where you guys had this photo taken where you guys put your
Yes,
hands in the
yes,
air?
Splash Mountain is that one. We were
Okay.
we were trying to do the, Baymax, signs. Um,
Okay.
no, I think we're doing hearts. We decided hearts
Okay.
instead on the ride as we were getting on and up, but we were doing trying to do hearts, but it just was too scary on the way down, so we're all, like, cringing and like, "Ah!"
Yeah, yeah.
So
It
that's where
was
that photo
perfect
comes from.
shot.
Yes.
I see. Because I said I feel like that was one of my favorite photos because I think you uploaded a whole like
Mhm,
gallery of
mhm,
photos from the trip,
mhm.
and I feel like that was the one that stood out the most. But
Yes.
yeah, for any future Tokyo Disneyland goers, which attraction would you say is the one that stood out to you the most?
Definitely go see the Baymax Disco ride.
Disco.
Um, that one is really fun, and was there another one? The Star Wars ride was cool too. Oh, actually, I have one. It's called Mickey's Magical Adventure or something. It's a theater,
All right.
and there's performers, and they're like on pirate ships, and they're swinging, and they're like up in the
Okay.
air. It's crazy. That is my favorite. Go see that.
Now let's jump right into the wrestling side of things. And before Tokyo Joshi Pro, your excursion in Tokyo Joshi Pro, you took part in the New Japan Pro Wrestling Academy,
Mhm.
and I believe you were also a proud graduate of that as well.
Yes. Yes.
So I wanted to ask, like, what's something that you took away, or what's the most significant learning that you took away from your New Japan Academy experience that was perhaps most useful in your tour in Japan for Tokyo Joshi Pro?
Mm. That's a good question. Kushida and Fred are amazing coaches. I love them so much. They've really changed my life. I think the thing I took most was confidence from the New Japan Academy. It definitely built me up in a way that was like, you believe in yourself, you can do this. And so when I go to those excursions in Japan, being so very different from everybody else, I can
Right.
stand in what I know about myself. That I'm good, I'm a good wrestler. I just have to be me and things will work out. So I think confidence is what I got mostly from New Japan.
And you were oozing confidence, all right? Like the first moment I saw you, and with that entrance music, bro, come on.
I get so surprised every time, and some of the girls we went to dinner one of the days, and, she was like, "This is your song, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "It's great," and she's like, "I've been listening to it every day," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what did I bring to Japan?"
Well, you brought a bop to Japan. It was a bop. It's a bop.
Thank
We
you.
love that song. I do want to talk about your run in the Tokyo Princess Cup because
Mhm.
that is TJPW's most prestigious annual tournament,
Mhm.
and you got to be a part of it. And
Yes.
one of your matches was against the Princess of Princess champion Miu Watanabe,
Mhm.
and you picked up the win.
I did.
I want to say everyone was gagged. I want to say everyone was gagged because that's the top champion. She's
Uh-huh.
been holding on to that belt, and here
Mhm.
comes Miss Zara Zakher, sort of, from overseas, and then boom, you
Yeah.
just took the win by storm. So, what was the preparation like for such a big, high stakes matchup against Miu?
Well, I was honestly surprised. I feel like I didn't know I was going to be in the tournament until maybe a week or so before I left to Japan. So I was like, "Oh, I'm
Okay.
going to be in the tournament. That'd be cool." And then I saw I was wrestling Miyu. I was like, "Oh, okay, we gotta like we gotta get ourselves together."
Yeah.
And so I was just training a lot. I was in the gym a lot, um, trying to eat right, to the best of my ability. Japan also helps with eating right too, definitely. Um,
Wow. Yeah, for sure.
definitely. But yeah, I was just trying to make sure my head was right. I was backstage nervous as all hell as I am before any match. Like if it's 40 people in the crowd or 200, I'm the same amount of nervous for both. So I was back there just like trying to hype myself up, trying to get that confidence out that comes out when I go through
Right.
the curtain. I'm trying to do that also backstage. But I was just trying to prepare myself, and then when I get in there, the bell rings, it turns on. Like whatever is happening
All right.
on the outside
You're
world,
locked in.
I'm locked in. I'm so locked in. I was also pretty gagged, as you could see in my face after I couldn't hear 1, 2, 3. After that 1, 2, 3 happened, I was like, okay, I guess I'm moving on. Cool.
Yeah. As someone who was watching from home, I want to say this might have been the first time I've seen you in action, besides
Mhm,
maybe one New Japan Academy showcase match, the one
mhm.
with I'm not sure who it was with, but this
Jada.
was maybe yeah, Jada Stone.
Mhm.
There we go. So I was like, oh wow! I don't know how the fans reacted in the audience, if they
They
were
were
shocked as well.
surprised. They were very
They were
surprised.
surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
you
like
picked up a win over yeah, over the Princess of Princess champion. So you know, after this, I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna give her a shot at the title, which I feel like would be well deserved
mhm.
because have you seen this woman in the ring? Oh my god. So the semifinals was around, I want to say, the time when the New Japan G1 Climax
Mhm.
finals happened, and Zack Sabre Jr. made the cover of the Weekly Pro Wrestling magazine, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. And then if you have a physical copy, if you could switch over to the back cover, and then there's four of you guys,
Mhm,
Yuki Aino, Yuki Arai, and Ryo Mizunami.
mhm.
What were your immediate reactions to seeing yourself on the back cover of that magazine? Because oh my god.
It was crazy because I got it when we were traveling to, Osaka, I think. I think Osaka.
Okay.
So it's like 1 AM. We're all very tired, and we're, like, loading up the bus, and then, Shoko Nakajima comes to me, and she's like, "Here for you," and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" And then I'm like, "Oh, cool, a magazine." I turn it over, I'm like, "Oh my goodness. I'm on the back of this magazine," and I took a video, like, right then and there. I was just like, Zack Saber's on this side and I'm on the other side. I
Yeah.
I never thought I would be in any type of Japanese magazine, let alone like on the back cover of one, so that when people
Right.
pick up, not even to look inside, like just to look at it, they see me. So that was incredible. I have it here somewhere. There's still a little bit of boxing going on, but it's somewhere here. I kept a copy for me, and I got another copy
Yeah,
so I
for
could
sure.
get it to my mom so that she could have one too.
Yeah.
So it's here somewhere.
Loki, I was Loki manifesting that you were gonna take the win. I was like, it would be amazing if she went on to advance and win the whole tournament. Just because I feel like your story in the tournament was like, I'm new here, but I'm gonna put everyone on notice. This is what I can
Mhm,
do for the ring. But regardless, I feel like you were still able to do that until the
mhm,
semifinals.
mhm.
But what was the experience like working with Yuki because she is just a competitor herself. Insane.
Um, it was great. Me and Yuki actually wrestled together as a tag team at the Collective this year, in
I see.
Philadelphia at TJPW in Philly. And so we got to know each other a little bit more in Philly. And then when we came back and we advanced and we pulled the cards and we were wrestling each other, it was like, oh, friendly competition, but also I want to get to this final really, really, really bad.
Right.
She is very, very strong as well. I was like, oh, wow, okay, you have been hitting the gym. So it was really fun. I'm happy I made it that far. I wish I made it further because I really thought I could be in the finals. I only had one step left, but there's always next year, and
Right.
I think I made a good impression, so I'm not too worried.
Right, right, yeah, and what an impression you made. I mean, your run in the Tokyo Princess Cup itself speaks for itself. Like you had a win over the champion, so
Mhm.
I don't know. From as a fan, like I think a receipt is due. You know, a title match is due
Uh-huh.
for until Miu holds the title. But yeah,
Mhm.
amazing run that you had. I feel like it really
Yeah.
introduced you to maybe the Japanese wrestling fans in
Mhm.
Japan,
Mhm.
or those who primarily watch Joshi wrestling, such as myself. So yeah,
Mhm.
definitely got your name out there. But sort of looking back at your excursion in Japan, what would you say are some of like your personal key takeaways that you plan on bringing forward into your career from here on out?
Um, I got to train a couple times a week in Japan, which was really, really nice. So I think some of the things that I've learned in training, training, um, some of like the like chaining stuff that they do was really interesting and a different way of doing things. So I've been trying to incorporate that more. Um, and do that more. I just had my first match back yesterday, so I haven't really got to. And my opponent was a lot different than the Joshis in Japan. Um,
Right.
but it's also very weird transition from that to that. But I think I think some of the stuff I learned in the dojo is something I'm gonna take with me definitely because they do some cool stuff.
Feel like there's nothing more innovative, nothing more
Hmm.
new or fresh or new to the table as what they do, in training sessions. I wouldn't know, of course,
Uh-huh.
but when I see how they do it in the ring when there are shows,
Hmm.
I feel like that's where they shine the most. Do you have any piece of advice for future foreign wrestlers who want to, say, tour Japan to wrestle and sort of learn the wrestling experience in the Japanese wrestling scene?
Well, do it, of course. It's amazing. It's amazing to stay in Japan. It's amazing to walk the streets and see like all the amazing things that just surround you. The sky is so pretty. Um, and and you have to just go in there like not like you own it, but you have to go in there with confidence and be like, I know
Right.
what I'm doing and I know why I'm here, and then let your work speak for itself. Sometimes people are like really worried, like, oh, this is my shot, I gotta do this, I have to hit all my stuff. But the more you just show who you are and not try to be something else, the more people are going to like you or going to resonate with you. So I think just like settling in yourself and being like, okay, I know who I am and I know what I can do and I'm just going to do me. And then go to Ichiran also. Ramen place in Japan,
Ah, okay.
Ichiran. I went there every week, sometimes twice a week. So get that.
All right, there you go, everyone. Be sure for any future foreign wrestlers who want to, do a Japan tour, an excursion, or even a match or two. There you go. But yeah, Zara, thank you so much for joining us here on Joshi Journals for Who's That Girl. Before I let you off, do you want to let everyone know where we can find you on your social media so we can follow you in your career?
Yes, it's Zara Zakher on everything. I think there's no dash or anything. Just my name, Zara Zakher, ZARAZAKHER. And yeah, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. That's really all I got. I think I have a TikTok, but it I think I have one video on there, so you could try. You could try and follow me. But yes, those two especially.
All right, there you go. I am really looking forward to where your career takes you after this excursion because I feel like it's giving you so much experience, so much valuable experience. And I'm wishing you nothing but sky's the limit. I don't
Mhm.
know where you go from here, but I see really big things, and I'm really excited to see where it takes you.
Thank you. I hope so. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Manifesting,
Manifesting it,
and
yes.
yeah, getting that energy in. But yeah, on my end, be sure to follow Joshi Journals on all of our socials at Joshi Journals. And yeah, once again, Zara, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Really means a lot. Hope you enjoy your stay here, and for everyone watching, stay safe and enjoy your Joshi wrestling. Bye.